Thanks for staying with My News 26. I'm Eric Wotila, and today we're talking about a kind of unique project coming up in Cadillac. I'm joined by Frank Williams, who is working on cartoon maps for the area. And Frank, I understand these are kind of a novelty that have been very interesting thing that people tend to look at in local communities like Cadillac.
The cartoon maps have been around for years and years, but it's there's just not many of them making them anymore. But as much as we love them, there just hasn't been too many of them made. So now we're making them again, and everybody likes them. It's just a fun caricature of things around the community and a way for businesses to get known, especially small businesses.
Sure, and of course Cadillac, and we have here a map of Cadillac that was made, I understand, in the early 90s, and it's kind of a neat piece of history because a lot of these businesses even aren't around anymore. So I understand your idea is kind of to create something new and a fresh map that in another 25 years will be another piece of history.
Well, yes, these are a slice of history when they're made, and so they become kind of historical the older they get. This map is still hanging around in six or eight places that I have seen in Cadillac in the last couple of weeks. And now we're going to do one in the style that's a little bit different. All these styles, these maps have been done in a lot of different styles, but this is the one that we do. This one was done in Mount Pleasant a few years ago. Actually, last year was done in Mount Pleasant, and we did it in two different sizes. We did it in this 11 by 17, which is a brochure. And so we're able to print a large quantity of those, 10,000 of them. But we still like to print the posters because the posters will hang on for years. I've seen as old as 35-year-old maps still framed and hanging on walls. In fact, I found one in Clare that was 35 years old.
And you were telling me exactly that these poster maps hang, but for people who just want a copy to take home, the smaller maps are kind of a different approach that might be a little newer to Cadillac.
Well, we started putting the bulk of the printing expense into these brochures because we found folks will take these home and leave them on their coffee tables as a conversation piece. Some tell me they're putting them up on the refrigerator with magnets. And then because we put all the phone numbers on these, we have found that some folks have even told me that they like to keep them in the car for quick reference. And as much as we love to use Google and the internet, this is something that we still like. It's tactile, it's fun, it's something we can touch, and we're all very visual, all of us to one degree or another. Another thing that I found is I was told by a lady yesterday that she would prefer to use a map like this because she navigates by landmarks instead of by street names and so forth. I like to do the street names, so it's easy for me to use Google, but some people like to use this just because it's everything on the map is a landmark.
And obviously we're looking at these Clare County and Mount Pleasant Gladwin maps, so Cadillac's is not the first in the area that you've done.
No, I did 3 of these last year, and we're doing one this year, and this is exactly the way we're doing them now.
And so now Cadillac will be the next one we're working on, and I understand local businesses can be a part of this if they're interested.
That's right. We take a picture of the local business in a cartoon style, and then we put their name and their logo, if they have one, and phone number on it, on the right location on the map. Then we have other features. We took this and made a actual air balloon into a hamburger. And we have billboards and we have vehicles. If a person doesn't have a business right in this location but wants to advertise, they can use their truck. That's a tow truck, for instance. And there's just a lot. Anything you can think of, our artists can draw.
Now, how can somebody get involved if they say, hey, this is cool, I want my business to be a part of this map? How do they do that?
Well, through up until Labor Day weekend, I'm going to be calling on businesses. But if I get a phone call, I'll respond. And my number is 956-536-8465. 956-536-8465.
Again, so if you are interested in being a part of this new Cadillac map, the first since the 90s, you can call right here and get your chance to get featured in this kind of fun local project. Now, we're going to have much more from around the region coming up in just a minute, but for now, I'm Eric Wotila reporting for My News 26.